Welcome to Edupedia World Grade 10 Computer Science Video Lecture Series. I'm Upeka Vandibona, and from this episode we are going to discuss about the files in Input-Output Stream model regarding to C++ language. We typically have large amount of data which cannot be fit in the main memory of our computer. So we store most of it on disks or other large capacity storage devices. Such devices also have the desirable property that data disappear when the power is turned off. We call this concept data persistent. At the most basic level, a file is simply a sequence of bytes numbered from 0 to upwards. Something like this in the picture. A file has a format, that means it has a set of rules that determine what the bytes mean. For example, if we have a text file, the first 4 bytes will be the first 4 characters. On the other hand, if we have a file that uses a binary representation of integers, those very same 4 bytes, the first 4 bytes, will be taken to be the binary representation of the first integer. The format serves the same role for files on disks as types serves for objects in the main memory. We can make sounds of the bits in a file if we know its format. For a file, the output stream converts objects in main memory into streams of bytes and writes them to the disks. The input stream does the opposite. That means it takes a stream of bytes from the disk and composes objects from them. This concept is depicted by this illustration. Most of the time we assume that the bytes on disks are in fact characters in our usual character set. That is not always so, but we can get an awfully long way with that assumption, and other representations are not that hard to deal with. We also talk as if all files were on disks, the hard disks, the rotating magnetic storage. Again, that's not always so. But at this level of programming, the actual storage makes no difference. That is one of the beauties of the file and stream abstractions. Now let's move on to our thing, coding. We try to code two things. We try to code to read a file as well as write to a file. We first go with reading a file. To read a file, it has 4 steps. First, we must know the name of the file. Second, we need to open the file. Third, read the characters. And 4, we need to close the file. Now the second activity, write to a file. It also has 4 steps. If the file is an already existed one, we should know the name of the file. If we are trying to create a new one, we should name it. The second step, if the file is already an existed one, we need to open it. If we are trying to create a new one, we should create the new file with the name we decided. The third step, write out our objects. Fourth step, close the file. We already know the basics of reading and writing because the output stream attached to a file behaves exactly as cout for what we have done so far. The input stream attached to a file behaves exactly as cin for what we have done so far. So I hope the things we are trying to do in next few minutes would not be much difficult for you. Okay, now we are trying to learn how to open a file. Before start coding, I need to introduce 2 key terms, that is IF stream and OF stream. IF stream means input file stream. OF stream means output file stream. If you want to read from a file or write to a file, you have to open a stream specifically for that file. The IF stream is an input stream for reading from a file, and OF stream is an output stream for writing to a file. And here is another term, F stream, which means file stream. It is an input-output stream that can be used for both reading and writing. Before a file stream can be used, it must be attached to a file. Okay, now let's start with coding. I'm going to show you how to open a file to read. In the desktop, I have a file called as to read. So here is my file. In this file, I have written hello. In another line, welcome to Edupedia World, and a blank line, and then grade 10 computer science. So I'm going to read this text file in the desktop by using a C++ code. First thing, I have to define a variable to write the path of that file. My file name, and this is the path of the file. This variable is in the string type. Now remember, when you write the path, use the /. If you are using a backslash, remember to put 2 backslashes, because for a 1 backslash, the compiler will consider it as an escape character. And the name of the file is toread.txt. Now we need an input file stream variable. Input file stream class is a stream class to read from files. So for that, ifstream, I'll name the variable as ifs. Within the parentheses, we need to mention the path variable, the string type path variable, my file name. Now we need to convert the value of the my file name into constant chars, because the input file stream constructor does not take string values. It takes only constant chars. By using the c_str function, we can convert the value of a string variable into constant chars. Okay, now we need to check whether this input file stream variable got an actual file. So for that, we can use a if statement. In the condition, we check whether this ifs variable have a file. If it is not, that means the else part, will output the cout, unable to open the file error message. Good. Now to use the input file stream class, we need another C++ library. That is called FileStream. So #include, the library is fstream. So this is the program to open a file for the purpose of reading. Let's try to execute this program and check whether our program is correct. You can see our program is correct. It has no compile time or runtime errors. Now let's mention a file name which does not exist. toread1.txt is not exist in our desktop. You can see the error message. It has output unable to open the file because toread1 is not exist. Now this code is to read a file. To write on a file, we can use the same code. Let's copy the code and comment this code. And to open a file for the purpose of write on it, we need to use a output file stream. So we'll change the variable name as OFS. Now our file name is not to read. For the purpose of writing on a file, we'll use the file to write. It's also in the desktop. In the desktop, you can see to write file, it has no content. Now let's try to execute this program. You can see it has no compile time or runtime errors. So that means our program is correct. This is the way how we open a file for the purpose of writing on it. Now this program uses an existing file to write on it. But how about if we need to create a new file and write on it? You can do it by this same program. The output file stream, first check whether there is already existed file. If so, it takes that file. If it is not, it is trying to create a new file. Now here I am going to mention a file name which does not exist in the desktop. Let's see what would happen. It compiled and ran OK. If I check on the desktop, you can see a new file is created. It's a blank file. Actually, the creation of a file through a code is depending on the administrative privileges you have. So always make sure that you have the read and write access to the path you have mentioned. Okay, now we are moving on to learn how to read the text content from a text file and how to write a text content to a text file. Up to now we know how to open a file for those two purposes, and now we are moving on to read and write. Let's see how we can do it. So this is the code segment to open a file using the input file stream for the purpose of reading a text file. First of all, we need to define a string type variable called as line. Each line of our text document will assign to this string type variable line. Now within the if statement, we need to define a while loop. As the condition, we called a function getLine. And we pass two parameters. The first one is the input file stream, IFS, and the second parameter is our string type variable line. Now remember, this getLine function is a library function. You need those #include directives to call this function. Now inside the while loop, we need to output each line in the text file. So for that we say cout the line variable and /n. Now after doing everything with the file, we need to close the input file stream. So for that, ifs dot and then call the function close. Okay, now we are done. Let's try to execute this code segment. It compiled and ran OK. We got the output that we expected. In the text file, we got 4 lines. Hello, welcome to Edupedia World, the blank line, and the grade 10 computer science. In the console, we got exact the same. So in this program, we have read a text file and print out the contents on the console. We have created a while loop that reads the file line by line using the getLine function. The value returned by the getLine function is a reference to the stream object itself, which when evaluated as a Boolean expression, the true is returned if the stream is ready for more operations, and the false is returned if either the end of the file has been reached or if some other error occurred. Good. Now we are moving on to writing on a file using the output file stream. This is an easy activity because it has the same usage of the cout statements. All you need to do is, rather than using the cout, we use the output file stream, OFS, and the two lesser than operators, and whatever you want to write on the text file. So here I am going to write, thank you for watching. Stay tuned on with Edupedia World. This is actually very easy because you have already familiar with the cout statements. Okay, now this is all I wanted in my new text file, to write new.txt file. Let's try to execute this program and check whether we can have our expectations. It has no compile time or runtime errors. Now let's go for the desktop to see our text file. Previously this file was a blank file. Now it has our text. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned on with Edupedia World. So this is how we can write on a text file using C++ code. And with that, we are going to end up this episode. In this episode, we basically discuss how to access a file using input-output stream model. Remember, to read a file, we use input file stream. To write on a file, we use output file stream. From the next episode, we will try out a coding example, write a code to solve a real-world problem. So till then, thank you for watching and stay tuned on with Edupedia World.